Nick Baldwin for MMAsucker.com here with a lightweight fighter who was victorious this past Friday night at Mercenary Combat League 1. He defeated Mike O'Neill by first round submission. It is Lee Gaudet. Lee, thank you very much for the time. Can't imagine you doing much better than you were a couple days ago, getting your first win since 2014.
Yeah, that was great. Nice and quick and easy and injury free, so it was great.
What were your thoughts on your performance? I would imagine it couldn't have gone much better, just because a first round finish is what everyone's looking for usually.
Yeah, it was nice and quick. Like, I trained for a 3-round war, but 3-round war you get banged up pretty good. But I'm injury free and good to go again.
Going in, did you think a first round submission could be likely? Were you calling for that, or as you said, were you were prepared to go 3 rounds in a tough fight? Were you sort of thinking, Mike O'Neill's a pretty tough guy? Were you thinking it really could go 3 rounds?
Yeah, I heard he's a pretty tough guy. He comes in pretty hot, so I was actually prepared to weather a first round storm and maybe come a little stronger in the second, but I guess my storm came before his, and that's the way she went.
You started really quickly, right off the opening bell. You went after him. You were very aggressive, and you didn't really slow down. Of course, you overwhelmed him, got the job done. Was that the plan? Was that the game plan, to start super fast?
Not my personal game plan actually, but Curtis kept telling me just to let it go, let my hands go, and light him up, and that's what I heard, and that's what I did.
Was that anything because of who Mike O'Neill is? Maybe he's a slow starter. You realized, was that anything to do with him and the matchup?
No, not the matchup specifically, I don't think. Curtis always tells me I should just be more confident in everything and just do everything, just do what I do.
And this was the first pro MMA event in Winnipeg. Of course, you train here. You're from Selkirk, correct?
Yeah, I'm from Selkirk. I live in Winnipeg now.
Yeah, close enough. How cool was it to have the hometown crowd and just, first fight here in 3 years?
Oh, great. I love fighting in Winnipeg. A great support group, and it's just awesome.
And going forward, you feel like your record professionally is 4-6, but do you feel like that doesn't really tell the full story of who you are and how good you really are?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I started way too young, I believe, and I didn't really have a proper MMA team. And then as soon as I came to WAMA, I started developing and started forming into the actual fighter I could be. And ever since I started WAMA, that's where I feel like that's where my record should be.
And Mercenary Combat League, this was, of course, their first event. From your perspective, from a fighter's perspective, did everything go smoothly?
Yeah, it was really smooth, like backstage and leading up to the weigh-ins, everything. It was really nice.
Do you think that MCL could finally be that one organization here in Winnipeg that sticks around for a little while? I know we had some organizations here for a number of years, but of course we haven't had regular MMA here for many, many years. Do you feel like Andre Pavlich and the rest of the MCL crew could be that what Winnipeg needs?
I sure hope so. Like, I was looking at the size of the crowd, and there's tons of people in there. I just hope everything went smooth everywhere else, and we see MCL 2 soon.
And this was, of course, your first victory since 2014. Your last one was in Winnipeg, that King of the Cage card. Just talk about what it was like to finally get back into the winning column.
Oh, well, I always just train, and I don't win or lose. As long as I put on a good show, it doesn't bother me. I've never been really beat up or knocked out, so it's a fight's a fight to me.
And this was the battle of the nicknames. I know you marketed it as such. You're the Beard, he is the Caveman Bully. What's up with those pro wrestling photos? I know you're a Photoshop genius.
No, that wasn't even me at all. It was one of my buddies. He just kept sending me these ridiculous photos. I just had to share them because they're hilarious.
Fair enough. How did you celebrate? Of course, again, your first win in a while, first pro card here in Winnipeg in a long time. How did you go out and celebrate the victory?
How I celebrated. Obviously, my diet was so clean and I wasn't drinking or anything, so I had a few drinks afterwards and pigged out, pretty much. That's about it.
And you told me that your Saturday yesterday was quite the lazy Saturday, it sounded like.
Yeah, basically, because Friday I did go a little hard for someone who didn't have any drinks for quite some time. So a little hungover Saturday, I just laid around, watched movies in bed, and that was my Saturday.
You deserve it.
Yeah, and then today I actually trained. I'm injury-free, like I said, so did some training with the WAMA crew, and here we are, back at WAMA.
I imagine just very light training, nothing too big.
Yeah, it was more technique-wise. Went over through a lot of stuff, and that was my Sunday.
How much do you look back on a win? I know, again, not much went wrong. Nothing really went wrong. You got the first round submission. You looked fantastic. To me, I'm not just saying this because I'm standing right beside you. I think this might have been the performance of the night. How much do you look back on a win, go watch the tape and look at things? Hey, I could do this better. I did this well. Keep doing that.
Yeah, I actually, they're so short, somebody recorded it on their phone, so I got a good look at it. And yeah, it's easier to pick those things out if it's a 3-round fight and I got my ass beat, right? So
Sure.
other than that, it looked pretty good.
When do you plan on getting back into heavy training? I know you did a bit today already here at WAMA. I know you don't have a fight coming up. I don't know when you'd like to fight, but usually do you get back in the gym right away?
Yeah, right away. Injury free. It's like training is not. It's a lifestyle. I do it every day after work. I'm training, or if I have a fight planned or not, I'm still training. So.
And you've been able to stay somewhat active. These past few years has been tough to get fights. 2016 and going into 2017 hasn't been as tough. We had a few cards in Saskatchewan, Saturday night fights. I know. I don't recall what promotions did you fight for just earlier in June.
Oh, Elite One in New Brunswick. It was a really good organization. It was very nice going out there. Actually, it treated me real well.
How did that come together? Just because you don't often. I know your last couple of fights have been in Saskatchewan, just driving out there, the prestige cards. How did that come together?
I'm friends with the guy on Facebook, the promoter, and he was asking for a fight. Then I just private messaged him, and I was like 2 weeks away, and I was training for a fight previous, so I was already in shape, and it just worked out. And they loved me out there, so I might even go back.
Nice, and my point was that you've been able to stay somewhat active, more active than a lot of fighters. How cool is that? How nice is that? And how have you managed that? Because again, a lot of fighters, even on this MCL card, hadn't fought for a year. You just fought a few months ago.
Yeah, it was good. It was like, I don't know. I was just getting I went years without fighting, and all of a sudden this summer I got a little lucky and had a couple fights. So
going forward, the next steps. I know MCL. Andre Pavlich, as stressed out as he was going into this card, as relieved as he was, come Saturday morning, MCL is going to put on another show here in Winnipeg. MCL 2 sounds, what Andre told me, nothing is planned officially, of course, but we're just a few days after the first show. But spring is when they're wanting to do it. Would you be willing to sit out till then and fight here in Winnipeg in your next fight, or are you looking to get something before that?
It's hard to say. Whatever popped up, I would take. I might do some submission grappling tournaments. I might just jump on a card if somebody offers me, and we're just see what happens.
Where would the submission grappling stuff be?
Oh, this is it's basically submission season for tournaments. So there's a couple in Saskatchewan. There's a couple. I was looking at one in Chicago. Manitoba Open's always coming up. That's always a great tournament in Winnipeg, and they're all over the place right now.
Would the Chicago one be like the Chicago Open, IBJJF?
I was eyeing up a new breed submission tournament, I think, but Buddy Cody just did one. It looked really fun, and I'd like to try that one out because I haven't been a part of it yet. So.
What about Submission Underground? I know it's put on by Chael Sonnen, pretty big event, but I know Micah Brakefield from a local fighter from BC. You may actually remember him. He fought Mars at Prestige FC 2 a year and a bit ago. What about something like that?
Yeah, that'd be cool too. My friend Rita competed on that too as well, and that should look pretty cool too.
As far as the next MMA event or MMA fight, anything in the works? I would imagine not. We're just coming, a couple days after your last win, but has anything popped up? Have you, seen anything that interests you as far as the next card?
No, not too sure. I just haven't really looked around too often, but I'd like something nice and quick.
As far as your pro career, fighters, I feel in general, fighters that aren't in the UFC put in a lot of time, and sometimes the rewards aren't always there. Sometimes, getting the win is amazing. You probably, might get a performance bonus. Do you feel like in general, the hours you put in over the years have paid off?
Oh yeah, like I said, it's just my funnest hobby, and if I can get a couple bucks on the side and do it in front of all my friends and family, hey, why not?
Is MMA something you're looking to take even further? Maybe not UFC, but a larger organization or the UFC. Is this something you'd still like to take further?
Yeah, I'll always see what happens and pluck away some good wins and get noticed maybe. And either way, win or lose, I'll still be training throughout my life. Jiu-jitsu, martial arts, anything, I'll be training. So.
And full time, paying most of the bills. What do you do for your day job?
I'm a crane operator, heavy construction.
Has that been for a while?
Yeah, last 5 years. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Lee, thank you very much for the time. If there's anybody you'd like to thank, any sponsors, any thank yous, the floor is yours.
Thanks a lot. I just want to thank all my friends that came out and watched me fight on Winnipeg. It was great. Thank my team, WAMA, and Brickhouse Gym, Muscle by Myers for sponsoring me. And I want to thank you. I got you a T-shirt.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'd pluck away on WAMA. Check out wama.ca. And thanks a lot, Nick.
Thank you. Really appreciate the time. And congratulations once again on the victory.
Thanks a lot.